Straight ahead, CitySpan is dialed in. Economic strength, poverty reduction, infrastructure, neighborhood revitalization. We're all about moving Savannah forward. Jobs and more jobs. The Summer 500 program is underway, giving our young adults a chance to be mentored and make money doing it. It's a win-win situation for all involved. Projects don't get a whole lot bigger than the Bilbo one. It's the canal that's now complete, the core to making a major impact on flooding across the entire downtown region. Savannah is shining in Edgemere, Sackville, and beyond. From the park to Parkside, this entire area is truly brightening up. We'll tell you about the Downtowner, talk with some track stars, and celebrate our Youth Council. It's a healthy city, and you can bank on that. CitySpan is up next, right here on SGTV. Hello, Savannah. Welcome to CitySpan. I'm Ken SLATS. Summer is truly heating up, and with it a chance for change for many of our area's young adults. Many heading toward new jobs or even off to college. For several hundred students, it's the start of the 4th annual Summer 500. The kickoff began with a grand entrance. Student interns given the royal treatment at Savannah Arts Academy.
I think it's game time right here. Let's crank it up a little bit. Let's crank it up. Here we go. Ready?
Can you give a massive round of applause to Mayor Eddie DeLoach? Let's give him a hand.
We are giving you that an early opportunity that you would not have if you had to go out and say, let me see if I can get a job.
The city, partnering with Chatham County, the school board, and many private companies, has matched up more than 250 students with jobs and mentorship.
I want you to be able to have a great opportunity to learn how to do whatever job it is. And remember, it is not the job you start with, it's the job you finish with. So go out there with the attitude, it doesn't matter what I do, as long as it's a job, and they pay me money at the end of the week that I can put in my pocket, things are pretty good.
So go to work every day. Bring a positive attitude and a positive smile. Be willing to work and do what you need to do in order to be able to be invited back the next day. Express your gratitude for those who help you get to work and to get home.
If the mind can conceive it and the heart can believe it, then the hands can achieve it. It all begins in the mind.
Motivational speaker, author, entrepreneur BYRON Garrett brought in to teach and reach, and he definitely dazzled the Summer 500 crowd.
Thank you so much for showing up. But for the next 7 weeks, you got to continue to show up and show out. You got to prove that you deserve to be where it is you are, because this is your pathway to greatness. You get to make that decision every single day that the sun rises, every single day that the sun sets. You make a conscious decision to do something different, and when you do, your life will change.
When you walk out of this job, these employers, I hope, have instilled in you the responsibility and the right attitude to know that you can walk up to anybody, anywhere, at any time, and say, my name is Eddie DeLoach and I'm worth something.
You get to make a choice right now how this program will work for you, what your time will be spent like, how people will remember you, what reference they'll give you at the end of the program when someone else calls about your college scholarship or your job application.
Again, the Summer 500 runs through to August. It's a valuable opportunity for our area's young adults to thrive in a work internship environment. On to public safety, and May was a tough month for the Savannah Police Department. On May 18th, Sergeant Kelvin Ansary was laid to rest at Bonaventure Cemetery. He was killed in the line of duty a week earlier after responding to a robbery situation. Sergeant Ansary was a decade-long veteran of the police department. He also served his country for 21 years in the United States Army. He was a husband and father of 4. Sergeant Ansary, rest in peace.
2019, Calvin Ansary, Savannah Police Department.
A week after Sergeant Ansary's funeral, the city held its annual Police Memorial Day. a gathering each May to honor all of our fallen police officers in Chatham County.
1868, Samuel Bryson, Savannah PD.
Service, commitment, and sacrifice. These are only a few words that we use to describe our law enforcement officers.
1989, Mark A. McPhail, Sr., Savannah Police Department.
And whereas police officers unselfishly sacrifice their own safeties to ensure that the life and well-being of another citizen is secure.
As law enforcement officers, we feel the ultimate adrenaline rush when we hear the robbery in progress call, a vehicle pursuit, or an officer needs assistance. But there is no worse feeling for us than when we hear the words, "Officer down."
1994, Willie S. Smith, Savannah Police Department.
Every year we gather at this monument under the live oaks and Spanish moss of this storied city to revisit history, to remember, to acknowledge, and to reconnect with the brothers, sisters, and family members of the Thin Blue Line. This ceremony on the heels of our beloved city being brought to its knees is a stark reminder why we gather in solidarity. Together we are blessed with all the faith, love, and support we can possibly give in hopes to embrace and comfort each other in the loss of a brother.
2018, Anthony Christie, Savannah Police Department.
Now therefore I, Eddie W. DeLoach, Mayor of the City of Savannah, do hereby proclaim Friday, May the 24th, 2019 as Police Memorial Day in Savannah and call upon all citizens, government agencies, businesses, and public-private institutions to pause and reflect on the sacrifices made by the men and women of the Savannah Police Department.
2019, Calvin Ansari, Savannah Police Department.
Today's service honors all our fallen heroes who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. We thank them all for their service, their commitment, and their sacrifice. May they rest in peace, and may God continue to bless their families and the entire law enforcement family.
It truly is a moving ceremony each year held in front of headquarters at Oglethorpe and Habersham. Now you can view it in its entirety on our City of Savannah YouTube page. On to a major project for the City of Savannah, and it's in the books. And while it's not something you'll notice right away, if you live downtown, you'll definitely reap the rewards.
So we're on our way to wrapping up the Bilbo Canal Drainage Improvement Project.
It's a $23 million project. Nearly 2/3 of the funding came through the Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, or SPLOST. It's also a project to help alleviate flooding for more than 1,200 acres.
So all that historic downtown area, densely populated, highly developed downtown portion of Savannah, all that water that runs off the streets is making its way this way and going to go out this canal to the Savannah River.
The Bilbo Canal is 90 feet wide with 7 floodgates at the north end.
So you can really see the scale of the infrastructure. I think when you get under here, you can see each of the individual 7 foot by 11 foot wide tide gates. At low tide, groundwater, whatever's coming to the canal is going to go out into the river, every low tide. Then when that tide starts to rise above elevation -2, the gates will shut, they'll seal tight, the tide will continue to rise. The tide's going to rise on up to about elevation 4.5, and that kind of puts it into perspective how this system works. Is all the hydrostatic pressure of what water elevation's higher, the canal elevation or the river elevation, and that determines when the gates will crack open, have that differential enough to crack the gates open and let that water start flowing out. What we have in other situations, other basins, is our pump stations, and they can move a lot of water, but those stations require electricity, consume a lot of power to run those pumps, and also there's a lot of maintenance associated with those. So this system's gonna just work day after day in a very limited amount of input from the city's operations and maintenance.
The Bilbo Canal Project was also key to putting back Foundry Street, which runs through the Eastern Wharf, a major project extending the full downtown Riverwalk. Time for a walk of our own, a break in action. Coming up, we'll introduce you to the Downtowner, the newest quest for safe rides in Savannah. Plus, business is booming. We'll have the state of small business in Chatham County. But straight ahead, one of this council's major initiatives is to help make Savannah shine even brighter. It's neighborhood revitalization at its best. That's next on City Span.
Most of us have done it.
Dropped a bag,
A cup.
A butt.
Sometimes by accident, sometimes you think it's no big deal.
but it adds up fast.
It gets pretty nasty.
Sure, someone else might pick it up.
Or you could be in for a surprise.
A ticket.
A fine.
Or community service.
Seriously?
That is embarrassing.
Consider this a heads up.
Find a trash can.
After all, we live in one of America's most beautiful cities.
A city I'm proud to call home.
This is my home.
My home.
My home.
Savannah is our home.
Don't trash it.
And welcome back to City Span. Remember to keep tabs of the city online, savannahga.gov. Neighborhood revitalization is one of the 5 core goals as outlined in the city's strategic plan, Savannah Forward. It's a plan with the result in mind to make Savannah shine.
2, 1.
More than $250,000, most of which came from SPLOST, or the Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, went into turning this large vacant area into a neighborhood park.
This is the kind of thing we need to do all over Savannah in each neighborhood association, so that we can bring a sense of pride to each neighborhood.
This park will provide hours of fun for our neighborhood children and their families. Picnic tables and benches are on the way for our residents to enjoy, and we hope this park will be a gathering place for the entire community, a place where our seniors as well as our youngsters can come to chat and enjoy the sun.
It is located on a full acre at DeLoach Avenue and Cedar Street. It's the anchor project for the full Savannah Shines project in Edgemere Sackville and north to Parkside.
We've got more work to do as far as that program is concerned, but we did want to lift the level of pride in the community by doing things that we could do as Savannah to make a difference in this community. We've got the great people in the community. We just needed to take and help clean up some of the areas and make sure we get the folks that aren't doing the right thing to get out of the community and bring the people that are doing the right thing back into the community.
It's a great park, and I just thank God for the city council and the mayor and the Savannah Shines project and everyone that had a helping hand in that. I'm just excited about it. And it'll be a legacy for our grandkids and great-great-grandkids to have a part in. Thank you to the residents of this great neighborhood. Job well done. Thank you.
The city has started with pedestrian improvements. $750,000 have been dedicated to installing sidewalks, landscaping, and lighting on the east side of Cedar from DeLoach north to Daffin Park. Civics and in-depth lessons several of our area middle schoolers have taken to heart. Another graduation in the books for the Savannah Youth Council.
We learned what city government does for its citizens. We learned about neighborhood revitalization, economic development, city infrastructure, and so much more.
And we have to do all that we can to help prepare young people to be successful. We know that it takes a village to raise a child. We realize, though, that the village has to be bigger than your home. It has to be bigger than just where you go to school.
37 8th graders spent months in the Savannah Youth Council obtaining a sense of civic responsibility, while at the same time developing leadership skills.
The one thing I gained the most from my SYC experience was the ability to look into things deeper than they appear. This allowed me to look at things just as not as they are on the surface, but as they are in reality.
Reach in, start with you. Reach up to be mentored and taught by people who are going or are where you want to be. And then look back and reach back and lift as you climb. We are our brothers and sisters' keeper. We are no stronger than our weakest link.
I hope that you've made relationships and friendships, because we've learned that your network determines your net worth. That the folks you meet today, you might run into years and years and years from now. And you can all reminisce on the experiences you've had in the Savannah Youth Council. I hope you've learned some responsibility and how to play well and work well together, and how our country, as great as it is, provides us an opportunity to not only be different, but have different thoughts, but in the end of the day, we work it all out.
Do you have a rising 8th grader attending public or private school in Savannah or Chatham County? The city is now taking applications for the 2019-2020 school year. Just head on over to savannahga.gov/SYC for more information.
Small business is where it's at. Small business is where the energy of a community comes from.
That's Mayor Eddie DeLoach helping kick off the 7th annual State of Small Business in Chatham County Symposium. It's where small businesses and local leaders gather to talk shop. And with a very healthy economy, there's a whole lot to talk about. A company with 50 or fewer employees is considered a small business.
Small businesses like yours are the backbone of our economy. We thank you for what you do and for your contributions to our community.
We live in a great time and a great place to do business. So what's it like being a small business owner in 2019? With 78% of small businesses reporting profits, it's not surprising that current business owners, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the happiest, rated their happiness at an average of 8.
And I want you to go out of here today with the energy that you had the first day you started business.
You can check out the State of Small Business full presentation. It's over on our YouTube page. Just search City of Savannah. The Small Business Assistance Corporation, with support from the City of Savannah, has helped many local entrepreneurs develop a recipe for success. Leandria Michael has more in this month's Small Business Spotlight.
This month, we're visiting Geneva's famous chicken and cornbread. If you know the name, it's because Geneva's has been around for more than 30 years. Before going back into the kitchen this time, Geneva made a quick stop by the folks at SBAC, and they cooked up something tasty and unique. Let's go inside.
This is a very new venture for me. We started earlier back in the early 1983 doing Geneva's restaurants. So this is a new take on for me, but we are very, very pleased to present this new idea to the public of Geneva's famous chicken and cornbread company. We offer a variety of flavors of cornbread that I don't think that the market has been tapped with yet. We offer anything from our pecan loaves. Of course, our original loaf is our signature cornbread here, but I've created many different flavors.
Tell us about your experience with SBAC.
My experience with SBAC has been a long, full relationship beginning probably in the very early 90s. And I knew Mr. O'Reilly, and actually about 10 years ago, I presented this idea to him. I brought him in one morning and actually displayed a little display of everything in one of my small banquet rooms and just gave him a vision of my vision of something to come, and we kind of talked about it, and I sort of revisited him maybe about 5 or 6 years later and presented the idea again, and he liked it, so we thought might try to give it a go.
What advice do you have for other business owners?
Well, my advice to small business owners is that being a small business owner is very, very challenging. Of course, you know, this is not my first time. I've done this several times. But I do believe that if you follow your dreams, you know, there are amazing things that can happen.
I am definitely having the cornbread. If you have a small business and you need financing, stop by SBAC. That's 111 East Liberty Street. Or check them out online, sbacsav.com. I'm Leandria, and this is your Small Business Spotlight.
Thank you, Leandria. Next month on our SBAC Spotlight, we have a doggone good story for you. We'll feature the Von Trapp Animal Lodge. You won't want to miss that one. Time for one more break on City Span. It's a healthy dose of jumpin' jacks and much more. The city's health fair in the spotlight. Plus, it's a fast story. Speedy city track stars shining their medals. Straight ahead, you too can hop aboard the Downtowner. What it is and why we now have it. That's next on City Span.
When you dial 911 for a structure fire here in Savannah, you will get at least 25 firefighters on your scene.
It's a lot more than just putting out the fire and then going back to our station. We will stay there to make sure that the citizens are taken care of.
Because we keep such a high level of training, the ability to adjust from one situation to another is extremely simple for us.
Savannah Fire is an internationally accredited agency and is an ISO Class 1 department. Only 2% of all fire departments have achieved this prestigious level. Think you have what it takes to be one of the elite? For more information, savannahfire.org. Welcome back to City Span, your source for news, information, entertainment, and mobility. Yep. Isn't this car pretty cool looking? It's an electric vehicle traveling throughout historic downtown. But there's so much more to the story. It's not so much the car, but the service the Downtowner brings to Savannah.
We really are a complement to the other free shuttles that the city already has in place. We'll kind of be working hand in hand with them to fill in the gaps where they might not service and the hours that they might not service.
Extending the shuttle would have been very expensive for the limited amount of need that we really had after midnight. So the alternative we came up with was to provide essentially a free shuttle service on an individual basis. And that's what the Downtowner is for us now. From 5 p.m. until 5 a.m.
You can ride too, free, but only in the downtown area. It's essentially a free micro-localized Uber or Lyft.
One of the things we promised was that no matter where you parked, we were going to have an option for you to get back into the core of downtown. And one group that we knew we had a gap with were particularly downtown workers late night.
Pretty easy to get a ride. You just download our app, Downtowner, and put in your pickup, drop off a number of passengers, and you get to see a wait time immediately.
They're already providing services like this in places like Aspen and Tampa, so we see them as a good fit for filling in what we knew was a gap for the overall plan.
It's being paid for by parking services. We do have additional revenue from the changes in the parking fees and hours. The intent of changing those fees and hours with parking was not a revenue generator. And because we are seeing some financial benefit from that, we can also use that to help take care of the complications that some of that caused for some of these evening workers.
Over the first few weeks, Savannah's Downtowner app has been downloaded more than 1,200 times, and the service has seen more than 1,000 riders. While most of us would rather not, it's never too early or too late to think about taxes and how to make the most of your hard-earned money. With more on ways to maximize your tax refund, here's Richard Ree from Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Savannah.
Tax refunds are on their way for millions of Americans. Did you get a tax refund this year? Was it what you expected? If not, you can make the most of next year's refund by following these tips. You can potentially save hundreds of dollars by filing your taxes for free. VITA, the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, offers free tax preparation services and quick and easy refunds. Visit niacdc.org for more information. Check next year's return for tax credits. Get more from your tax return by reviewing possible deductions. Consider contributing to a retirement plan. You can get a bigger refund. Many working families are living 1 or 2 lost paychecks away from a financial catastrophe. If possible, put some of your refund in savings for emergencies. Another way to maximize your refund is to learn how to adjust your withholding amount from your paycheck. Ask your employer for more information. With these simple and easy steps, you can make the most of your tax refund. Until next time, I'm Richard Reeve, and you can bank on this.
Thank you, Richard. Yet another track season is in the books for our City of Savannah Speedsters. And with it, the youth from our area brought back more than a dozen medals from the state meet in Augusta. Here's our Matthew Worth with this Speedy City update.
The path to glory started on Savannah State University's track in early spring.
It is rewarding for the individual as well as the team, as well as the city program. When we see athletes that start out, they train, they improve during the course of the program, and to be rewarded by actually winning in the state meet is really big, for the program.
I love, being a part of it. Hopefully, we can see these kids on TV one day, graduating from college or participating in the Olympics.
Coach Horton is the lead coach for the Savannah Warriors. He's helped mold these young Savannah athletes. One of Coach's stars is Destiny Mobley. She's excited to continue her track career in high school in a few months.
My plans on is getting scholarships for track and seeing where it takes me.
KYREE Richards set a state record for the 8 and under long jump. He wasn't short for confidence after winning.
I'm the best. Nobody can stop me.
We have a whole bunch of kids that did extremely well. And we're going to continue to push KYREE and push all the other kids, not only in our organization, but in these other organizations, and try to help as one unit.
For a lot of young kids that may not be doing anything, they can come out here where we practice maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and then on these Saturdays we have these track meets. So it's been a true blessing from the city to offer this type of program to the kids.
I take my hats off to the recreational department from the city of Savannah to making this opportunity happen for our boys and girls.
City Savannah! For City Span, I'm Matthew Worth.
Thank you, Matthew. Congrats to all of our track stars. We are very proud of all of you. We are also proud of our city's adults taking their health to new heights. The Employee Health Fair was all about the physical, mental, and emotional well-being of our employees.
So you walk around the event today and a lot of folks are smiling. They just get out there, they know that their employer cares about them, that they're putting this together for them.
Sarah Hansen heads the city's wellness coordination for city staff, highlighted at the 7th annual Spring into Health Fair at the Civic Center.
And what we do is we, for our employees on the health insurance, they get their blood work done, they can get their physical done here, enter the tobacco affidavit, health questionnaire.
It's very important because we have the different screenings that they have available where you can have your blood pressure check and find out about different health care information that's available to you, and that is also affordable as well.
Just to know what your health is, important numbers that you have, and just to stay healthy for the rest of your life.
Staying healthy helps the employee and the employer. It's a recipe for overall success.
Well, I mean, you think about it just down to basic terms. When you feel good, you put out more. Right. So if you're happy, you're moving around, you're going to be much more productive at work, you're not going to want to call in. You just look at life a little bit different.
You feel better throughout the day. You can get your job done better. As long as you stay hydrated, you can get your tasks done. and you can have a successful day.
We know the statistics show it, that the more healthy you are as an employee, the more resources that you have to be healthy in a work environment. It just makes for a healthy morale. It makes just for a healthy workplace in general for all employees. Our employees have families, they have kids, and the important thing is that not only our employees come to work healthy, but also that they can go home healthy to their families and enjoy their families and enjoy their life.
Stay healthy, Savannah. Thanks to all of our staff for putting together a very healthy place to live, work, and play. That's going to do it for City Span. Don't you forget, all of our latest news can be found on SGTV. Check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Search City of Savannah. Of course, we are online at savannahga.gov. Thanks for watching, and thank you for making Savannah your home.